Well, hello my lords and ladies, and welcome back to Westeros. Okay guys, so before we get started with this part, let's go over what happened last time. So, Lord Andros and Lady Janes of Strongsong had their first child, Daz and Guile. Unfortunately, Daz and Guile is ugly, which means that he has a genetic trait which he can pass down to his future children, which is kind of bad. He gets a -1 diplomacy from this, and also a -20 attraction opinion, which makes it so women who he might be marrying in the future will be less likely to like him. So if another heir comes about who is better than Dazin, Dazin is going to find himself removed from the succession of the House of Guile, either through death, joining a septry, or by joining the Night's Watch. Either way, we'll deal with that when we come to that. But right now we have two pressing issues. One, we currently are in a civil war against Lord Loras of Crowncrag. He has risen up in a traitorous rebellion against me, because I tried to imprison him for plotting against one of my counselors, Lord Nestor. So I'm going to be dealing with that. And also, I'm going to be making a grab for the succession of the House of Aaron in the Vale. I've noticed that in between this part, or I'm sorry, not this part, but the last part and this part, when I was getting ready for this part, I noticed that Meredith Wainwood is 22 years old. She is chaste, which is kind of bad, to make it so she's less likely to have kids, but she is the heiress to the Vale. And right now Jon has no kids. And if Lysa were to actually die, or not Lysa, but if Jon were to die before they had any kids, Meredith Wainwood would become the new ruler of the Vale. So, if Lord Andros's wife, Lady Janes, would somehow die, I would be free to marry the new heiress to the throne of the Vale. So you guys can see where I'm getting at here. So basically, I'm going to be actually getting rid of my wife here in a little bit. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a high enough opinion with the High Septon to divorce her, even with an offer of a bribe. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to pull a bit of a Henry VIII here and imprison her, and then try her before the court to see if I can get rid of her. Now, the first thing I am going to do, though, is I actually am going to send a gift to Lord Jon of Northwell, because he is an ally of the Lord of Crown Crag, my current rebel right here. So I want to make sure that he'll like me enough to where he won't declare war against me. And I'm going to raise my troops and then pull them over to Strongsong here. So while this is happening, I'm going to attempt to imprison Lady Janes, which is I have an 80% chance to do so, and I did succeed. Now, unfortunately, by imprisoning her, I have become a bit of a tyrant, and this is going to make it so my vassals have a -10 opinion with me, and also I'll lose some monthly prestige, but it's not that big of a deal. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to call Lady Janes for a trial, which will give her the opportunity to defend herself in court. But also, if I win, what will happen is that I will have the option to either kill her, which isn't very good for me because I'm going to gain the Kinslayer trait, or I can send her to essentially a sept and make her a silent sister, which is kind of the equivalent of a nun, which means that I won't be married to her anymore, and she'll have to swear a vow of silence forever. So let's see. Lady Janes of Strongsong has demanded a trial before the court, which Jelian will oversee to ensure justice is served. She begins to present her defiance, but the court did not seem impressed. She cut a very unconvincing and nervous figure. Now Gelion shall interrogate her. Gelion stuttered, stammered, and incoherently rambled in front of the accused, who rebuked his questions and accusations with ease. Unfortunately, his argument was so boring that many in the court appeared to almost fall asleep. Oh, thank God, though. But luckily, a verdict has been reached, and Gelion proclaims that Janes of the House Hunter is guilty. The court system in the Game of Thrones mod is really cool. I think the thing that really determines the success or the failure of a person's defense in court is their diplomacy skill, because it's obvious with Jelian, his diplomacy skill is not very good, especially compared to my wife's. My wife's has a pretty decent diplomacy skill, but luckily I managed to prevail. So now I have these options. So like I said, I can kill her, which means I'll become a Kinslayer, which is probably the worst trait you can have in Crusader Kings 2. As you guys can see, look at all those bad things you can get. I mean, -30 opinion from people of your dynasty, and also just everyone. An extra -10 opinion from all of your vassals. You lose 1 piety per month, and you lose 3 diplomacy. It's horrible. But if I make my wife serve the crone for the rest of the days and become a silent sister, I get no penalties, and I'm free to marry whom I choose. So that's what I'm going to do. So she is going to become a silent sister, and I am now free to marry once again. So let's go over to Lady Meredith Waynwood. Offer a marriage between her and Lord Andros. She will accept, and because she is actually of a decent house, and she's technically a relative of the Lord Paramount John Arryn, I will gain 118 prestige from this, which is very good. So we'll send that proposal off to her. And yes, that's it. Okay, so let's have my men get together here. And alright, so Meredith Waynwood has married me. That's fantastic. So Meredith and I are now married. And also, oh, that's fantastic. Look at that. So because Meredith has such a high stewardship skill, because she is a brilliant steward, I actually have the ability to hold on to 2 demesnes now, which means that once I win this war, I can hold on to Crown Crag as well as Strong Song, which is great. And the reason for this, folks, is that whenever you marry, your wife will actually contribute half of her traits to your overall state. What are they called? Your state stats is what. Sorry. So basically, half of her stats will go forward to these stats. So, for instance, because she has 14 stewardship, I gain 7 stewardship because she is my spouse. It's really cool. So by marrying her, I've actually made a pretty good choice, I think, because now I have the opportunity to hold an extra territory, which will give me a lot of bonuses and more troops, more taxes and things like that. It's going to be really good. So, all right. So once my troops get together, I'm going to have them move to fight Lord Loras. But we need to wait for my men to get together first. Okay, so Lord Andros is going to lead the center. Tim will lead the left, and then Pate will lead the right flank. Even though Andros is not a trained fighter or anything like that yet, I am not too worried about his ability to fight on the battlefield, because the Lord Loras is actually not that great of a fighter as well, or either actually. He's a skilled commander, and he actually has martial skill 12, which isn't horrible, but my martial skill is 17. And I also have a Valyrian Steel Sword, which gives me a bonus in duels. So I'll probably win against Lord Loras. So I won't be too concerned about fighting him. But I'll be honest though, I am a teensy bit nervous because sometimes duels can be a little random at times, so sometimes you can lose. So I am going to kind of sit here right now and bite my nails a little bit. I hope that nothing wrong goes on here. Alright, but it looks like we're fine. We've managed to defeat the army. Yep, there we go. What is this? As the enemy scurries away from the battlefield like frightened rabbits, you wipe the sweat off your brow and watch in silence. It was a hard-fought melee, and you were in the thick of it, personally leading your men to victory. Not only have you won this battle, but also a great deal of respect. Songs will be sung of this day. I gain 50 prestige. That's wonderful. Alright, so let's have my men go to Crown Crag and also chase down the remainder of Lord Loras' forces. And I might actually get enough war score to win this war if I kill his last remaining army. Okay, and I didn't. It wasn't big enough. That's fine. Wars are, in the Game of Thrones mod, are the most easy... Wait, what am I even trying to say? Excuse me. If you want to win wars quickly in the Game of Thrones mod, the best way to do it is just to fight really big battles that you know you can win. In wars, battles actually have a bigger effect on war score than sieges do. So whenever you're fighting a really big war, especially the ones where like you're a paramount and you're trying to get independence from the Iron Throne, the best way to win your wars quickly is just to have an assurance of victory in a huge battle, because winning like 1 or 2 huge battles will make it so you can win very easily. To the resolute Lord Andros, peace be with you. We would like you to back our plot to kill Lady Paramount Lysa the Vale. I'm going to accept that for right now, just because Lady Lysa, even though she is depressed, which reduces her fertility by -5%, she still is lustful, so she still is getting a bonus fertility, so she's more fertile than the average woman. So I think we need to get rid of her when I can. So we're going to let the siege run its course, and I will bump this up to 5 speed for the time being. I am going to have to wait a little while for Meredith to become pregnant, obviously because she is chaste. She's not actually a very lustful person. I am actually going to designate her as my regent, because that's supposed to give her a +20 opinion of me, which it looks like it doesn't. That's a little weird. Okay, anyway, so there's a new commander on the wall, and this is kind of cool. So whenever a new commander of the Night's Watch is actually, I don't want to say crowned, but he's chosen up on the wall, you get the whole Night's Watch oath and things like that. This is a very long oath, so I'm not going to read it, but it's pretty cool. And let me make sure I'm still part of the... Okay, good. I wanted to make sure I was still part of the Liege Loyalist factions, because I don't want my Lord John to actually get mad at me for any reason, of course. Alright, so we'll let this siege run its course. It's almost done. Once we take the Castle of Crown's Crag, we should have enough... Uh-oh. Master Gerald has gained stress, and my armies have lost some of their morale for a year. That's not good. Well, luckily that doesn't play that big of an impact on this, since we're just sieging a place. But anyway, once I take the Castle of Crown's Crag, I should be able to... or Crown Crag. I should be able to end this war. Let me see, just a little bit longer. There we go. My lord, we've rounded up everyone we could find. What should we do with them? I can clap the leader in irons and leave the rest here. I can imprison the entire family, or I can just say these people are useless, leave them here. I'm going to clap the leader in irons and make it so Lord Loras will be imprisoned by me. And now that I've done that, I have successfully won the war. And actually, I do have the option to banish Lord Loras to the north. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to revoke his title, which is going to cost me 100 prestige, but that's okay. I'm going to revoke his title, but because he rebelled against me, my vassals don't mind if I do this. I'm just going to suffer some prestige. And by doing this, I actually will make myself the Lord of Crown Crag, which makes it so I gain a new territory which will contribute more tax and also more soldiers to my realm, which is fantastic. Yeah, so by taking that territory, I now have a maximum of 6,800 men I can raise, which is very good. So I've actually raised my overall levy size by at least 1,500. This also makes it so there's pretty much no hope for Lord Paul if he ever decided to rebel against me. There's no hope for him to rebel against me unless he had an external ally, because I am way more powerful than he is. So I pretty much am completely secure inside my little High Lordship of Strong Song. Lord Viserys II of Dragonstone has usurped the High Lordship of Dragonstone from Lord Stannis the Just. What? Stannis got his title revoked by Viserys. Are you serious? I gotta look at this. Oh, and good, Meredith is pregnant. That took a lot less time than I thought it would. Usually chase people take a while to get pregnant. So look at that, guys. Lord Viserys actually usurped the Lordship of Dragonstone. So the Targaryens actually still own Dragonstone right now, even though Robert is king. That's pretty funny. Huh, okay. Maybe we'll see the return of the Targaryens a lot sooner than we might expect. Oh, since I actually have a lot of gold, let's spend some of this to improve my city. So Strong Song... Actually, no, I'll wait a little bit longer. The first thing I'd like to get whenever I upgrade a castle is the Castle Town, because it actually gives you a really nice tax bonus. It gives you a 1.5 tax bonus. And as a small duchy, essentially, a high lordship in this game, the best thing to do, I think, is actually to try to increase the amount of money you'll get, because in comparison to the Lord Paramounts, you make a lot less money. And the more money you can get, that's more money you can use for the upkeep of your army, and also more money you can use for assassinations and also hiring of mercenaries and things like that. So I think money has a really a lot of good uses, because you can use it to hire a lot of mercenaries. And that's really good, because pretty much all the mercenaries in Game of Thrones only cost about 150 gold. You can't hire like extremely huge armies of mercenaries, but you can hire sellsword infantry for 150 gold, and they only cost 3.6 per month, which actually isn't that big of a cost. So getting as much gold as possible is always good. Or I guess as much gold and dragons in this case, since it's Westeros. Alright, so what's going on here? So Lady Lysa, oh no, she's pregnant. No, she must die. Kill her. Oh crap. No, we need to kill her before she gives birth. What do we do? Okay, maybe, I don't want to kidnap her. Even though I have a higher chance to kidnap her, that wouldn't really work out very well, because Lord John would just get pissed at me and order her release. Do I kidnap her? Do I attempt to kill her? Let's attempt to kill her. Let's see if I can do this. I hope she hasn't been pregnant for too long. I should have marked her, because then I probably the game would have notified me if when she became pregnant. You can actually mark a character as a character of special interest to get notifications on whatever they're doing, and I totally forgot to do that. No, I hope she doesn't actually give birth. If she does, then the whole line of succession is going to be thrown out of whack. Oh no. Okay, let's see. Alright, so I've started to plot to kill her. Let's auto-invite plotters. And let's see. There are a couple people I can invite to... Ooh, 50 gold just to make you join? No. There's gotta be some people I can hire to join my plot for a cheaper amount. Okay, good. Let me see. Lord Jan is a lord, so he's gonna cost a little bit more money. That's fine. I'm not sending you 29 gold just for an extra 3% plot power. That's ridiculous. Alright, well, maybe we'll be able to get rid of Lady Erin before she gives birth, but this is going to be, oof, this is going to be playing the numbers game. I really hope we can get rid of her before she gives birth. Oh, what's this? The realm's in a state of war. Oh, we're at war with Bravos. Okay, it doesn't concern me. He's attacking the Sea Lord Frago of Bravos in the Iron Throne War for Lord Stannis' claim on Dragonstone. Is Dragonstone technically considered part of Bravos right now? Oh, it is. Oh, wow. Okay, so Robert is essentially going to go ahead and try to claim Dragonstone back for Stannis. And if he does this, Viserys will actually be kicked off of the High Lordship of Dragonstone. So the Targaryens may actually not be coming back very soon. That's kind of cool, though, that actually Bravos is owning that territory. I can't wait to actually get my, or sink my teeth over in Essos, because I haven't actually played this game for a while, or this mod anyway, and I actually have never played over in Essos, so I'd really like to do that. Let me see. Lord Andros Strongsong has fulfilled the ambition to have a daughter. Wonderful. I have a daughter who is sickly. Okay. We'll leave her name as Andara. I hope she lives. She is born sickly and might not survive infancy. She has minus 2.5 health. I hope she survives infancy, because we do need a child. Let's see. Let's make my next ambition to improve combat ability. So if I make this next ambition to improve combat ability, there'll be a good chance that I'll actually gain events that'll give me the opportunity to improve my fighting ability as a leader. So by changing my ambition to this, I may actually be able to compensate for Lord Andros's lack of one-on-one combat strength. And hopefully I'll be able to make him into an even better fighter before he gets too old. Okay, we get an extra bonus to levies in Strongsong. That's good. And let's see, I don't think we're going to succeed in killing Lysa. No, we did not. Darn it. So now we have Lord Jasper of the Vale, an infant, who is now the current heir to the Vale. Okay. Alright, so our plot to kill Lysa is kind of useless at this point, especially since we're already backing another plot to kill her. Could we kill his son? Try to kill Jasper. No lords really want to try to kill her. Or kill him, excuse me. Alright. Well then. Okay. Alright, well, I guess we'll have to make do. So I guess the next thing I'll have to do then is I'll have to try to put my family on the throne another way, since I'm not going to be able to inherit. Because basically what has happened now is that Lord Jon has an heir, and if Lord Jasper dies, what's going to happen is that Harold, the heir, which is actually the other surviving Aaron, is going to inherit after that. So that means I'm going to have to kill 2 kids, and then after that another person will be in line for the throne because another man was born. So there are actually 3 people at a minimum I'm going to have to kill to even have a chance at the throne of the Vale. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to gain the high lordships over time like I originally planned, and then just overpower the whoever my Lord of the Vale is at the time in the future. So that, you know, that's okay. We'll make do with what we got. Alright, so while riding through the mountain pass with a small retinue, I spotted some warriors of the local clan. I noticed that one of my bannermen flying the large, bright blue standard of House Aaron sticks out like teats on a breastplate. Let's see. I can let the standard fly and press onwards. As high as honor, men, which is actually the motto of the Aarons. I can leave the standard be, but drop to the back of the column. No, I'm not a craven. No, we're gonna let the standard fly. Unfortunately, I didn't gain the trait Brave like I hoped. Brave is a very nice trait, and I think in Game of Thrones it's actually buffed, so it actually gives you even more bonuses than it does in the base CK2 game. But I didn't get it, so that's okay. So since my plot to gain the Vale, I guess what the cast of the die has failed, because I was really, my plot was only going to work if, like, essentially if chance was on my side, because if Lysa didn't have a kid, then Meredith would have given me all the sons, then Meredith would have been the ruler, and then I would have, my son by her or daughter would inherit the throne in the future. But I was playing really off of a game of chance there. I could have assassinated Lady Lysa, but I was kind of afraid that if I assassinated her, that John would just take another wife, and the other wife would be a lot younger, and also most likely have better traits, which means that she'd have kids more quickly. So I thought it'd be better to have Lysa on the throne, but it looks like it didn't turn out that way. But another opportunity will present itself in the future. It always does. So it's really not that big a deal. So I think on that note, though, we're going to end this part today, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this part to Let's Play Crusader Kings 2, the Guile Chronicles. Join me next time for my continuation of this Let's Play, and hopefully where I can start kind of scheming a little bit more and trying to gain some high lordships under my control. So thanks for watching, guys. See you all again later.